and we're able to achieve 100 bushels across our entire farm with those populations. Remember about soybeans that they're 90% germ, so there's 10% you're losing. They're 10% you get too deep, too shallow. 10% just don't come up because they're soybeans, so whatever you're dropping out there, you're going to get about 70% stand. So I know I didn't really answer your question, but I think it's so environmentally driven, depending on the year.
How much sugar do you add to your top dressing?
When we're putting that on top of our stocks, we're probably putting on, depends on what it is, half a gallon acre. Like if you're just going to use corn syrup out of an ethanol plant, you put a half a gallon acre. Where you can basically get through your sprayer, because all you're doing with your sugar is charging your microbes up. The reason you're putting nitrogen out there is for the food source. So,
what's your population or your seed size you're dropping for soys?
On soybeans, our seed size on soybeans, I like to get the biggest seed I can get, so I prefer 2,000. And they're pretty well going to get me 2,000 if I ask for 2,000, because there's not too many people volunteering wanting this great big seed. But if I ask for it, they're going to try to get it to me. So I like 2,000 seeds per pound.
My question was on headline, your timing on.
Okay, timing on corn on headline. The most important leaf on a corn plant is the tassel leaf, the flag leaf, because it's the most upper leaf taken in the most photosynthesis, just like wheat. So there's no reason under the sun to ever put headline fungicide on prior to the tassel totally emergent, because you're not going to protect that number one leaf. The second most important leaf is the ear leaf, and it's, you're going to get some of the fungicide down there, but the most important one you're wanting to protect is the flag leaf, the most upper top leaf taken into most photosynthesis. So I was in Illinois at Farm Progress, 3 years ago, when we had all the beer can ears up there, and nobody even heard about this yet. I mean, I knew it before BSF did, but I got to Farm Progress and I was doing some talks, and I got bombarded in my talks with this. We put this fungicide on and hurt the crop. It's like, it can't. That's impossible. Well, come to find out what it was, or what they were doing, and I figured it out within 2 or 3 hours, because I went to ask them questions. And what they were doing up there, they was using high voice sprayers, and it wasn't getting high enough on the crop, and then they was using too much surfactants, whether it be crop oil or non-RX surfactants with the headline, and it was blowing that down that whirl, which was screwing the tassel up or the pollen up. So, and it wasn't the fungicide, it was the surfactants and carriers was what was actually messing it up. You want the tassel to be totally emerged. Matter of fact, I like about 10% brown silks, because 6-ounce headline is only going to give you about 2 weeks of control. And we have a lot of gray leaf spot, all your rust, northern, southern is common. So we do have a lot of disease pressure. We're picking up 17 to 25 bushels with one application headline on our corn. But remember, I have a lot of disease pressure where I live at. The farther south you go, the more disease pressure we're going to get. What's my soil temperatures on our soybeans when we're planting? Well, we can start planting soybeans the 1st of April, like April 1 or 2. And, but ideally, I'm probably going to back that up, and I prefer to plant them around the 20th, 15th, and 20th of April to start. And we can plant up until, say, June 20th, and there's not really much difference in our yield. Once we get past June 20th, we're basically going to lose a quarter bushel a day up until July 4th. Past July 4th, we're going to lose a bushel a day every day, and we'll plant up until the 22nd, 24th of July. Now, sometimes that'll bite us a little bit because we can't get a frost. Typically, we're going to get a frost around Halloween, and then the worst thing is we warm right back up, and we go back in the 70s, and we don't get cold until Thanksgiving. Now, this year we didn't freeze until Thanksgiving. So, as far as the soil temperature goes, it's probably a lot bigger struggle for you, because if we wait until the end of April to plant our soybeans, our soil temperature, or end of April, our soil temperature is going to be about 60, well, probably 65 degrees.
Do you tissue test, and if you do, at what crop stages?
Got a tissue test. We take, yeah, we do all kinds of readings. We got a CO2 meter that we take CO2 readings out of our, coming off our ground and see where our CO2 levels are. And we go to adjacent farms that might not necessarily have poultry manure or something out there to see if we have elevated it. And what I found on my particular farm is we're about 20% higher than non-manure farms. And we do some tissue sampling. We're probably looking more for hormones effects, because we do apply some hormones, and we want to see if we're affecting our hormone levels. As far as the nutrients, we're testing for nutrients, but for the most part, we're usually not deficient too bad on anything. So,
as far as the work, how are you managing the surface supply?
our manure, the way we apply our manure on our no-till, we're about 80% no-till. So we go in there in the fall of the year and we're going to apply that. You know, of course, it's no-till, so we leave it alone. We like to put it on after Thanksgiving when it gets cold, because poultry manure is a form of ammonium nitrogen or ammonium nitrate, and it's willing to be cold with rain or snow or whatever to kind of incorporate that in. On our conventional ground, we like to work it in immediately. You know, have the disc rippers out there running right behind the truck spreading. When do we plant corn? Last year we started the 18th of March. The year before we started the 15th. The year before that we started the 5th. That 5th didn't work out too well for us. The corn come up within 7 days. And then we got an all-time record cold in April for the entire month. And it happened about the 15th. We replanted, I think, 3,000 acres. Well, no big deal. We had time to do it, so you know, you just got to grit your teeth and go do it. I mean, what else are you going to do? Hell, you just go do it. But so the year before that, we started the 12th. So we kind of got bit that one year, but it didn't matter on what we replanted. I mean, if we planted it and it didn't germinate or anything, the ground froze 2 inches deep solid. And if it was germinated, it killed it. The only good thing I can say about it, all that corn we had to replant, we didn't have to work it or anything, because it was 100% killed. So that was the one good thing about it. Those times whenever you get killed out there, that you got a 4-foot skip, and then you got 4 foot of good, and 4 foot, you just want to pull your hair out. You don't know what to do. But that one there was no question. It was an easy decision. So